I read an interview with Jules Feiffer, Oscar Pulitzer winner, and it said he had several unproduced screenplays, and I thought whatever they are, they're probably good. And I called him up, and he said, yeah, I think I got some stuff, but I've been divorced so many times, everything's in storage, try me back in 4 months. And 4 months later, I tried him. Yeah, I still can't find anything. And then finally, a year and a half later, we tracked down a magazine that had reprinted the script in the late 90s. And Jules said, oh yeah, that might be it, but I think my assistant sent them an edited version. I said, well, where's your assistant? Maybe she has an old floppy disk. Oh no, she's dead. Yeah, and I said, oh, well, what about your agent? He must have a copy. Oh no, he's dead too. I said, well, your lawyer, he must no longer among the counted, he is dead. But we finally tracked down the original handwritten script at the Library of Congress. And then he said, I'm 88, when are we making this thing already?
I think the women are really smart, very strong. They were in the script, and they're even more enhanced, and they end up being, in a way, I feel like it becomes a movie about the maturity of these two men in their own individual ways, but the women are like the pillars that really guide them there. And how they get there is what makes it all a unique story.
Yeah, they would have never gotten there without the women in their lives. They would still like be living together and alone. Yeah, but it's so, what I'm always drawn to is complexity. You know, I feel the real disappointment when I read a script is if a woman has nothing to do and nowhere to do it, and it's just a flat line. All of these women, all of these characters are just messy and confused and doing the best they can at life, and the boys are doing a little worse. They're a little more turned around, but the girls are having their times too. And my part of Aggie, like they have a great love. Then you see what marriage can do to people, and then you see what distance can do to people, and how they can find each other again. So the shape of the story is lovely. But also reading it, it was, you know, before Me Too and Time's Up had come out. But I think the awareness was already burgeoning. And as you begin to read the script, because it is born out of a certain era, the characters are honest to that era. Like, we replaced the movie in the 80s and the present day, but the movie was originally in the 60s and the 80s. And so it's informative to revisit that point of view, and I think that's what gave us all a little bit of a jolt, but it makes you appreciate where we are, and the way Dan was able to make it relevant between the casting and the filmmaking, and really just the underlying subversive equality is really right on time. I mean, it just wound up being so incredibly on time.